Giving his first speech is the Icebreaker, and it's a 4 to 6 minutes speech. Mr. Timer, please.
Mr. Toastmaster, the timing rules for an icebreaker speech is green light at 4 minutes, yellow at 5 minutes, and red light at 6 minutes with 30 seconds deviation. Mr. Toastmaster.
The first speaker's name is David Staples. Please help me welcome to the lectern David Staples. Thank you very much. It's the Icebreaker.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, I've read in many places that the first 5 years of a child's life establishes his or her identity. Well, I grew up in paradise, and I was born in 1963 in Jamaica, West Indies. Simple enough. I'm the oldest or the youngest of 5 children, my eldest being Richard, then my sister Grace, Petal, Milton, and then myself. The importance of family has shown me a lot on how to be, and it's really given me a lot in my life. My mom and dad raised me in the midst of 3 dogs, Lassie, Kino, and Tim. And Lassie was a German Shepherd, Kino was a black lab, and Tim was a little scruffy mutt. In my backyard, in my immediate backyard, was a mango tree, a coconut tree, and a cherry tree that straddled our fence between my neighbor and ourselves. In the front of my yard was also another mango tree that we always went out and just sat and played. It was paradise. If you remember in the Garden of Eden, the story, I woke up one day after playing out in the yard, and my mom called me and said, "Get dressed." And I got dressed and we took a ride to the airport, which I had no clue of what that was. And we flew to America. We landed in a state called Connecticut. Now, at the age of 6, I was traumatized. And I have a photo to prove it. Those eyes say a lot, because from paradise to Connecticut, I have no clue. Now, my father was a short 5'6" man that taught me a lot. We went to Connecticut, and he was an electrician. He worked for the union, and in the union, he wasn't able to work and excel in his craft because they had so many restrictions. So he started his own company called Alt Electric. My dad provided for us. He provided for the whole family. And he taught us great lessons. One being, keep the honor of your name, the power of prayer, and being honest. Very simple. My dad was also a singer. He sang with many groups in Jamaica. He sang with Harry Belafonte. And my mom, she was forever a caretaker. She taught me her love of music. She was a piano teacher, and she went and sang with my dad. And as I listened along and sang along, it really made me fall in love with music. Now, I got my first drum set at the age of 12. And my brother, who was a DJ at Brown University, taught me the love of jazz. I got to get an ear for the quality of music, and I listened for what seemed like years to all the great jazz and great singers and all the classics. I would listen to Led Zeppelin and all of the great classic rock and roll, Minnie Riperton, the singers, and Roberta Flack, the horns of Earth, Wind and Fire and Tower of Power. And these groups really just make me excited every time I just say the names, because I just love them so much. Now, after graduating from Eastern Connecticut State University, I look back and remember that I was the first DJ to introduce jazz at the school as their first DJ, and the show was called My Jazz. School taught me quite a bit in college. It taught me that the process of learning was just that. Learning was about the process of learning. I've always enjoyed learning, and it's taught me quite a bit. One being that my mom and dad gave me quite a bit. Now, my greatest achievement is basically my two boys. They've learned how to sing from watching me sing a cappella so many years. My favorite line in the movie, Then Came a Spider, Along Came a Spider, says, "You are what you do, or you do who you are." And my biggest achievement is raising my two kids, Daniel and Drew. The gift of raising them and the privilege of learning and being an improvement for them, being an example so that they can also move on and be an example. My family gave me a roadmap, and I have the privilege of giving them a roadmap. What a privilege. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.